Okay, guys, part 2. So I went to look up, when the little break, how this is pronounced. And from the people I've heard, it's pronounced Wananix or Wanabnix, something like that. I'm sorry for butchering it, but I was not familiar with her. Anywho, so she says, ferocious winds blow, be warned. Ways must change, loss is mourned. Neglect respect upon one's path and face the fury of her wrath. A storm is brewing, and you could very well be placed in its eye as chaos reigns around you, scattering all that you hold dear. This will change all that you know, belief systems, relationships, and work ethics, to name a few. But do not be fearful, for Wanavenex brings this message as a heads up and warns you not to cause trouble for the sake of it. For this Lady of the Winds can cause catastrophes of biblical proportions and demands appropriate respect, or you will face her wrath. Knowing what is coming will enable you to prepare and understand why you face such dire straits. It is all for the best, however. You will be supported by Wanavenex if you stand strong and observe the activity that whirls in extreme ferocity around you. Then, once the storm has blown over, you will find it easy to float into the brand new world your soul has been craving. Her foresight says someone is out to cause trouble. Your past is catching up with you. Stop antagonizing the situation. Your habit of deliberately arousing hostility will alienate you. Don't back down for fear of incurring somebody's fury. Invite peace in to cool that hot temper. Watch your words. Okay. Let's see. Clarify Wanavenex and wrath. So we've got the Seven of Wands, the Emperor. Oh, and the Empress. Well, Eight of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Oh dear. So the Emperor and the Empress, this is definitely a couple. But they're protected. Whoever this couple is, they are protected. But whoever this, I see 3. This is like a little trio. They don't even make, like, they're so small, they don't even make it to a court card. And these are major arcana, so yeah, whoever they're picking a fight with, the outcome will not be in their favor. But this is a very real thing. Whatever is happening is a very real result of their efforts. Because Seven of Pentacles means that they've put in a lot of time and effort. And this is the only one that I'm going to read where she comes from, because it feels relevant what the message is. Let's see. Let me find her again. Okay. Wanavenex. So she is archetypal antagonist of Haitian origin. Wanavenex dealt out hurricanes, earthquakes, and other such disasters of nature and enlisted the help of other gods to do so. However, she never released these storms willy-nilly. She won't stand for neglect of the appropriate Zemi worship, lack of offerings, or general disrespect of her awesome powers and manipulating the elements. So this is about disrespect. That's what I feel. She's coming up because whoever it is that has wanted war with this Emperor and Empress are ignoring their guides. They're ignoring their protection. And they continue squawking, causing problems. But with the Seven of Pentacles, remember, she doesn't just do this willy-nilly. It's been happening consistently. It's been happening. Like, Seven of Pentacles indicates an investment of time. These people have made it their goal. This is a long-term goal, which means that they most likely have dedicated years to this. Maybe even 7 years. Eight of Wands. I'm getting that, how does that Bible verse go? You have been weighed, you have been measured, and you have been found wanting. That's what's coming up. Now, I have not been reading the messages off of these, but I feel drawn to do so now. So let's do it. Let's read the Eight of Wands, first of all. Hold on, let me find here we go. So the Eight of Wands says, out of the weeds they rise, their purchase shooting up into the sky in defiance of the brambles they grew out of. Between heaven and earth, they are noble birds ready to fly free. You feel an itch between your shoulder blades, and you could swear that trembling beneath your skin, ready to unfold and carry you into the clouds. You feel your own magnificent wings. Keywords: taken to the sky, rapid growth, extreme intensity, coordination. Oh. So two things. Number one, this Emperor and Empress, they're about to rise. And it's going to be as massive as a hurricane and just as sudden. But it's because whoever has been waging war on them, they haven't stopped. They have also continued investing, pushing, moving forward. Because whatever it is that they're building, they knew it was worth it. They didn't let themselves be knocked down, regardless of how much opposition, regardless of how much tension. And now the tables are about to turn. But they are about to rise, like quickly. Like, this is a couple that I believe is going to have it. Well, okay, hold on. When I say overnight fame, again, I don't mean that one day they're nobody and the next day they're somebody. It'll seem that way. But remember, behind this Eight of Wands, this is Seven of Pentacles. They've been working hard, possibly for 7 years, if not 8 years. So the fact that they haven't given up and that they've been given the appropriate respect, the appropriate veneration to whoever their guides are, that's why they will rise and they will be protected. Remember, this card says what? They will rise. The words are important. Out of the weeds, they shoot up into the sky in defiance of the brambles they grew out of. So basically, whatever this seed was, whatever this opportunity was, it was not in a favorable place. When you're trying to plant something in the middle of a bramble, of a bunch of bramble, that's a bunch of thorns, a bunch of dry, arid land, it's not easy. And they still didn't give up. So they're getting rewarded. But also, I feel like that reward has a double-edged sword. They will be rewarded, but the table will flip on whoever has been fucking with them. Let's look at the Seven of Wands. But that's not their focus. They're letting their guides handle it. That's not their focus. Seven of Wands, it says, treading steadily in wary feet through terrain choked with thorns. I told you, terrain choked with thorns. Your boots are in tatters. Only by relying on your staff for careful maneuvering can you navigate the path. Aching from the energy you have expended on this journey, you falter. Not sure if you have the fortitude to take even one more step. You see your companion, sleek wings folded, patiently waiting on a nearby stone. It cocks its beak ever so slightly, ink black eyes never leaving yours. The message rings true within your spirit. Keep your head up and have faith. You plant your staff, gather your strength in alignment with your purpose, and take another step. Keywords: defending your position, preparing for a leap of faith, holding the higher ground. I told you. This is a couple who have been through hell, but they're also not victims. That's why they're an Emperor and Empress. They have grown into an Emperor and Empress because every time they faced a setback, number one, they were the types that would not give up. They kept their head high and were like, okay, this is just, shake it off. Taylor Swift song, shake it off, shake it off. Keep going. But also, what lesson can I take from this? And that's how they grew into an emperor and an empress. Let's read the emperor. So the emperor says, a firm hand takes your shoulder and ushers you to the high seat of power. The clouds part, and you can see a vast dominion. Nothing escapes his attention. One eye sees the surface of all things, while the other sees the hidden truths, the normally invisible depths. Crows wheel above him, bringing the messages that he needs to govern his domain. His mind is steel, his words are iron, and his judgment is forever. He receives counsel for good and ill. His years of leadership allow him to know the difference. Key words: rule of law, good governance, wise advice, leadership and political acumen, fatherhood, authoritarianism, and ruthlessness. So this could be somebody who's a political figure. But whoever they are, this is someone who is very fair. They're firm, and they will fucking destroy you if you get in their way. But as long as you don't fuck with them, they don't fuck with you. But the fact that they're showing up with this, they are part of the storm. Whoever this emperor is, there's a change, and this feels political. This is a political figure. That's why I said you can't ignore the Seven of Pentacles. This person will all of a sudden gain a lot of following, a lot of visibility. He will probably be someone who's going up against people like Trump, people like Elon. But he's got a very powerful and faithful partner by his side. And this is a power couple. So that's why I said you're going to see them overnight. All overnight, you're going to see this power couple who knows how to take a stand. They do not waver. They do not falter. And they have like a lot of wisdom on their side. Oh, interesting. Let's look at the Empress. It says, a haunting lullaby calls from out of the darkness. It speaks to you of safety and security, a mother's eternal and unyielding love. A hand takes your hand, bearing you up against the coming storm. Her lips kiss your forehead and leave a mark, protecting you in your journey through the night. You were born from her egg, as were all who live. There is healing to be found in her kindness. Just be careful not to drown in it. Keywords: nurturing, self-care, sensuality, love and loyalty, compassion for all, fertility and prosperity, motherhood, smothering and obsessive behavior. So this Empress is the match to the Emperor, where he has the authority, he has the power, he has the law on his side. She has the compassion, the love, the nurturing, and prosperity. So just like if you think about them in classic Emperor and Empress mode, right? The Emperor would be the one dealing with the politics, dealing with, not that she wouldn't deal with politics, but she would deal with, like, the Empresses would normally take care of, like, is there enough clothes for the people of the city? Is there enough this? Is there enough that? Whereas the Emperor might be looking at, things that had to do with war or land, or, they would work in, or they were supposed to work in unity. So this is a couple who's going to rise, but they are the storm. Remember, even this one said that a hand takes your hand, bearing you up against the coming storm. And this reminds me of Claudia Scheinbaum. So it's going to be somebody who has that energy. Although they are a political figure, and they're most likely a woman and a man, but this feels like a couple. I don't see this being Claudia herself, unless maybe, I don't know. It feels like a couple, but because I'm from the United States, I'm going to say that I'm assuming it's here, but it could be somewhere else in the world, but this is a political couple who's going to rise, and it's going to feel like they have the law on their side. They have fury and wrath on their side, but they're defending things that need to be defended. Regardless of the arid difficult nature that's around them, they're going to survive. And they're not just going to survive, they're going to thrive. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's read Medea, deception. Okay. So this one says, web of lies, life of deceit, truth reveals who's a cheat, ensnared within a dangerous game, live in the light or face shame. Her guidance says, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Sir Walter Scott words should sound a little chilling now. All may look calm and serene from where you are standing, but wait till the truth comes out, and it will. For then it will be too late for clever words, trickery, or playing the blame game. No one is immune to telling the odd fib or two. However, when a life is built on deception and fabrication, well, that's another thing entirely. You must be honest with yourself, first and foremost, then look to unravel the web and face the music. Medea comes to you now as a warning, her back turned to you to hide her grief, shame, and horror of what a life built on half-truths and smoke and mirrors has led to. Do you really want to run the risk of being left isolated, forever staring into the abyss at what might have been? Her foresight. You are having the wool pulled over your eyes. Honesty will be the best policy when applying for a new job. Speak up even if you think you are alone and others will support you. Be thorough with the paperwork. Sign nothing until you are absolutely sure. And again, I haven't been felt pulled to read the description, but I will on her as well. Archetypal deceiver of Greek origin, Medea unscrupulously used her magical powers to help Jason, leader of the Argonauts, obtain the golden fleece from her father. She married Jason and used all manner of magic to help him. However, when Medea's power and deceptions finally failed her, and Jason deserted her for the daughter of King Creon, she went on a murderous rampage, including killing her own children by Jason. Damn. Okay. I'm gonna just say right off the top of my head, this could have multiple meanings because I haven't even clarified it yet. But if these two are working together, which would mean that one of them is here, maybe for them to be listening to this message, or I'm just uploading this into the consciousness of the collective. This queen, this empress, could have witchy powers. If she is here, the universe is telling her, do not hide that. Even if politically it makes a better impression to not be witchy, right? It makes a better impression to be Christian, to be conservative, so that you don't get a bad rap. This is do not deceive. Do not hide that. I don't know why that message came through. I'm just put it out there. Clarify Medea deception. 8 of Cups. Clarify Medea deception. The Lovers. And look, the Chariot. Oh, I don't know who this is, but now I'm fascinated. 4 of Pentacles. 9 of Wands. Queen of Wands. Yeah, this is a witch. So these two don't have to be like actual lovers. This could be like a political couple, but like maybe in a different way. Like maybe they, you know how a president runs with their vice president, they're considered a couple, but they're not really. So this could be like a political team, but I think that the Empress, and it feels like the Empress only because I'm feeling feminine energy and we're talking about Dark Goddess. And she's the one that shows up with all this maternal mother energy. If you, as the Empress, feel safer keeping this to yourself, I'm telling you now, that would only cause problems later on. I know if you're the Empress, you may feel like, you know what, I'd just rather not share this. But with the 9 of Wands, you are avoiding smaller problems and creating bigger ones. Whereas if you reveal exactly who you are now, you might have little problems, but you'll be able to solve bigger ones. Because there's definitely a witchy queen. And there's this fear of rejection, possibly from people who have a very Christian mindset, people who have a very traditional mindset. But I'm telling you, this is necessary. Be yourself. Let's see. Let's look at the Four of Pentacles. I don't know. This is amazing. I don't even know what the hell, who this is, but Four of Pentacles says, we erect strong walls to keep safe that which we have earned. It is wise to protect what we treasure, but fear of the thief can rob us of the joy we may experience from our belongings. To hold on too tight is to squeeze the life out of life. Keywords: protectiveness, greed, mistrust, and firm. Yeah, this is about